Hello, this is Wes at Bad Seed Games, and today we're going to be going over the Playmaker action float compare, which can be found in the logic subsection. Now I've already gone ahead and created an empty game object with a finite state machine added to it with the float compare action already added. We also have created a float variable 1 and float variable 2 with a value of 10 and 20 respectively. Now what float compare does is it will basically let you compare two float values and then determine whether or not it's equal, greater than, or less than, and then it'll let you fire off actions accordingly. Now, much like any action that has the every frame checkbox added to it, if you click it, it will keep on checking, or if you only want it to fire once, uncheck it. So let's get started. So first we're going to add in a value of 5 and say a value of 8. Okay. Now a tolerance is what you can set, so if you want to have, for example, a little bit of flex, for example a plus minus variance, you can add it in here with either a hard-coded number or a variable added in. Alright, so in order to use this, however, it does need at least one action, so let's create two so that we can create a few. So is over, actually let's change. And is under. Okay, so what we want to do is if float 5 is less than float, if float 1 is less than float 2, we want to make sure that the less than says is under. But if float 2 is greater than float 1, float 1 is greater than float 2, then we want it to be greater than. Now, as you can imagine, with these particular float values, since float 1 is clearly less than float 8, it will go to the is under. So let's add these events in. Over, is under, and give it some states to go to. Okay. Alright, so now that we've fired it, it should theoretically go to the is under, as you can see here. Now let's add in these variables, float 1 and float 2, click on the box, click float 1, click on the box, float 2, and let's run it again. Now it will give you a readout of what that value is currently set at. However, if you have this value automatically updated by another action in the scene, it will not show that until such time as it has executed and gotten that data. So let's run it again. And it's gone to is under again. Now let's change the value of float 1 to make it 100. That's the only thing we're changing. Let's try it again. Okay, and if you noticed, it's gone to the is over. Now, if you have any questions about this particular finite state machine's action, feel free to ask away in the comment section. But if you've liked what I've done, if you've liked what this is so far, feel free to comment, rate, and subscribe. Have a good one.